request.
Speaker, again to the acting premier. Speaker, this minister knows that it was inaction by her Liberal government that prolonged the strike for 5 weeks. The Premier's refusal to step in and facilitate a deal meant that some students had to give up their apartments. They've been forced to juggle work schedules. They've had to rearrange travel plans, maybe plans to go home for the holidays. A hardship fund capped at $500 just doesn't cut it. One student said, "That doesn't even cover my rent for the month I missed, not to mention my groceries, the parking pass that I already paid for, gas money to get to campus because I work there, phone, internet bill, etc." Why can't the Premier come up with a fund that will actually meet the financial hardships experienced by students?
Minister.
Taken unprecedented action to ensure that students do have access to a hardship fund. It is well within the discretion of the college to determine in exceptional cases that the limit of $500 be waived, Speaker. The member opposite keeps referring to an opportunity we had to interfere in collective bargaining. I want to make it very clear, Speaker, if we had interfered, they would be the first to be attacking us for interfering. We let collective bargaining proceed. The member opposite has referred to legislation that allows us to proceed. I explained yesterday there is overriding legislation, Speaker, and I am asking the page to send over copies of both bills and actually have real lawyers read them, and then they could advise the NDP whether or not they're on maybe pretty thin ice.
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Supplementary.
Speaker, students have been put through the ringer because of this government's decision to sit on the sidelines, and $500 doesn't even begin to cover the cost for.
Minister of Economic Development and Growth is warned. Carry on.
Another student says $500 is not enough for all the hardships students had to go through. $500 doesn't cover rent, not to mention all the other expenses during the strike. Money is nice, but it doesn't solve the real issue, which is a lack of respect for students. Speaker, when will this Premier show students the respect they deserve and direct the colleges to remove the $500 cap on the student hardship fund?
Thank you.
Speaker, I have to say it's kind of interesting to note that now there is real concern for students coming from that party. Because I can tell you, if you review Hansard, if you review the debates that we had about getting students back to the classroom, you will see there is no reference to students, except when it quotes the Minister of Labour and myself on this issue, Speaker. So this newfound concern for students is refreshing. I'm just not so sure how sincere it is.
Thank you. Final supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, instead of supporting students to move beyond the last 5 weeks of the strike, the help offered by this Liberal government is creating more chaos and confusion. The $500 cap on the compensation for students to recover from the strike simply isn't enough. And students need to know today if the Premier will direct colleges to guarantee that anyone who wants to withdraw from their program and get their tuition refunded will not lose their place. When will the Premier stop paying lip service to students and come up with an appropriate solution to the mess that students have been forced to endure over the past 5 weeks?
Thank you. Minister.
Well, Speaker, the member opposite might be interested to know that the hardship fund that we have put in place was informed by consultation with students, Speaker. We sat down with students. It is the first time in the history of post-secondary education strikes that this kind of fund has been created. Speaker, I think the NDP is really struggling because they know that they blocked the return to the classroom of college students across this province. 500 million students, or half a million students, 500,000 students know that the NDP blocked the return to classroom, Speaker, and they're trying to pretend they are concerned for students, but it's very clear that they do not.
Answer. Thank you.